Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is about hair. I understand this is a very sensitive topic, but it shouldn't be. Let's talk about it. Let's be open, literally open. Let's talk about history. Let's talk about our hair, our identity when it comes to hair. So grab something to drink, stay open-minded. I don't know you, don't let me get under your skin. Definitely if you are in a mood of don't mess with me tonight, you can skip this video, but it's just a cozy talk between ladies, honest talk, historical talk, and scientific findings, psychological findings. It's gonna be, hopefully, it's gonna be smooth. So let's get into it. So before I start this sit down, I want to ask you something. When was the first time you looked at yourself in the mirror and you say, "My hair is a problem"? I'm not talking about when you had problems at work and they had to fire you, or when they had to send you back from school, or when the magazine told you which hair type is beautiful and which is not. You yourself personally, you looked at yourself in the mirror, you looked at your hair and you said, "My hair is a problem." I want us to sit with that for a little bit, because what I'm about to uncover it has a whole lot of waves to it. So let's get into it. The human race started in Africa. The coiled hair was everybody's type of hair until evolution happened and everybody started scattering. People went through different climates and different weathers, and that affected the melanin. So the melanin started decreasing, the hair started falling down. Actually, the Asian thick hair is it's a mutation in the ADAR gene, and that's what causes the thickness of the hair. The Western hair is not it's recent. The Western hair evolution is literally recent, and so what the body has a way of adapting with the changes that you make. Just like I talked about food, when we eat certain things, our bodies adapt to it. So what happened with the hair, falling and the melanin decreasing, the hair needed to fall to make sure that the skin is protected, the back of the neck and the ear. And another thing was the exposure to vitamin D. So basically when you see all kind of hair, it's all about adaptation. It's very important to understand that the tightly coiled hair is what the human race descended from. There was a study done in Penn State University, and what they did is they took three different types of hair. They took the very curly hair, the lightly curly hair, and the smooth hair, the Western type of hair, and they exposed it to what was mimicking the African sun. And what they noticed was that the coiled hair, basically, what it does is it promotes a good temperature around the brain, allowing the brain to grow, because the thickness of the hair and the coils of the hair is literally between the sun and our skin. So there's no exposure. So having the hair was helping our brain preserve electrolytes and water. So it was not drying and it was growing. Okay? The condition of our being is already coded to adapt and to protect us. The body just automatically does its thing. Okay? I'm not used to the cold and I go to North Pole, my body will adapt to it. It will try its hardest to protect me. So things will shift, just so that I can be safe. So basically, every space in our coil does exactly that. It protects us. In pre-colonial Africa, hair to a woman was very, 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 very important, because the hair of a woman is her antenna to spirituality. The hair of a woman is her connection to our ancestors. So the women who would do hair, you know, the sun will go down, the women will start doing hair. That was very sacred, very sacred. So hair was very big deal for the African women. It was also a way of language. The coded hair of Namibian women with the ochre, that that signaled a different stage of life. The Amasunzu in Rwanda, the S shape of haircuts, that showed that the man was ready for partnership. So our hair was really a way of communicating or sending messages. You don't have to ask me anything. You can just look at my hair. You say, okay, all right, she's married. I'm gonna keep going, you know, or she's mourning, or she just gave birth. She is now a teenager. She's ready to be married. Things like that. So hair is very, very important. And when the slaves got to America, the first thing they did was to shave their head. One thing about shaving heads, even when you join the Marine or you join the Army, you know, you shave your head. That is the most degrading thing anyone can do. That is telling you, you are now my property. You are nobody else. Your identity is gone. You belong to me. You do as I say, or you get killed, or you get punished, or you get out. From then, our ancestors who went through slavery, they started wearing scarves around their head because they could not expose their heads. And with the interracial mating, there were kids who were born with curlier hair and lighter skin, and those children will work in the home. And so the message was clear. The closer you are to being white, or the lighter you are, the more acceptable you were. The nappier you were from the field. And that psychologically really damaged the way, especially African Americans, see natural hair. And in New Orleans in the 1700s, I think the late 1700s, there was something called the tignon. I think the tignon, if I'm saying it wrong, please correct me, was the wrapping of the hair that the African American women had to find themselves doing. So there were free African American slaves and doing their thing, they're rocking their hair, and it became a problem. And so they created a law telling every free white black woman to wear a wrap, and it was called a tignon. And unfortunately, they had to abide by it. They had to cover their hair because their hair, they said, was distracting and it was grabbing too much attention. So they had to cover it, getting them back to when they used to be slaves, psychologically. So that law passed and they started wearing the scarves. They called it tignon, and they started really like decorating it with jewelry, and it became a fashion statement. So even though they told them to hide their afros, to hide their natural hair, they made noise with the scarves. You had to deal with it. Okay. So that moves us to the early 20th century, when relaxer came about. Dark and Lovely is now owned by L'Oreal, came up with relaxers. And this was literally a relief to blacks, because now blacks can relax their hair and they can be accepted places. It quickly traveled around the world, all the way to Africa, and got to our grandmothers and passed down to our mothers and passed down to us. Now, relaxer has formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is related to cancer, a respiratory disease, endocrine disease. It's so bad that some of the European Union countries have literally canceled over 1,300 ingredients in the chemical solutions for our hair and our skin. 1,300. And if you look into it, the United States only canceled 11. 11. The FDA has tried to push this agenda, especially on relaxer. 2024, they missed their deadline with the White House. Then they changed it to September 2024, missed that too. 2025, Trump said, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. Made a huge stop on following up on this. 23 states can fire you for wearing your natural hair. And this is 2026. So as you're listening to me right now, Google it. Google your state and see if they signed the crown law. If they didn't, figure out why. Figure out who's in charge. Write a letter and feel good about yourself that you wrote a letter and you pushed it. Even if it's not going to do anything, maybe it will. We have countries that have moved on. They have passed that relaxer stage. They've moved on. But America, we are still here dealing with chemicals, being exposed to chemicals, and I know people are like, yeah, sure, I'm glad, I'm kind of glad it's there. But in Chris Rock documentary, Good Hair, he puts, well, a chemist, he was interviewing a chemist, I think, and the chemist took a can of soda and dipped it in lye, and the lye literally melted the can of soda, and that is what's in our relaxer. When I relaxed my hair for the last time, I prayed to God. I literally prayed. I said, Jesus, please, I pray that I'm healthy. And I asked God to give me the courage to keep going with my hair. Now let's move to weaves. We've talked about relaxer. Now it is time to talk to my weave ladies. So basically, The Good Hair, the show, it's worth watching. It's on Netflix. Chris Rock was inspired by his daughter. His daughter woke up one day and went to her dad and said, Dad, why do I have bad hair? That was the question. Chris Rock was a little confused, so he was inspired to start a documentary to go see the good hair. And so he went to India, and there is a religion that shaves women's hair. And that's the hair that we end up putting in our head. There's also the Vietnamese women and the Myanmar women. I hope I'm saying it right. They are the saddest ones because they get their head shaved only to have $3 to $5 of profit from their own hair that they've been growing all their lives. And where does it end? On our head. And how much do we pay for it? Hundreds. Hundreds. When you decide to take real human hair of someone who has lived her whole life with that hair, wherever she went, whoever she met, whoever she slept with, all of the souls that her spirit caught, everything that hair went through is on your head. Yeah, no, they washed it goes through chemical. It's spiritual. You gotta understand. And sometimes you will sit down and you say, why this keeps happening to me? I've never seen such a thing. But my family wasn't like this. And you're asking yourself so many questions when the answer is on your head. You decided to cover your crown with somebody else's spirit. It's a soul, it's spirituality. And yeah, a lot of people would say, yeah, but white people also, they wear weaves and wigs. They do. Yeah, they do. Indians, they wear wigs and weave. Asians, they wear wigs and weaves. But we are the only race that wears weave and wigs that don't match our texture. Everybody else, what they do is just enhance their own texture. But we literally cover our we will spray the glue, the same glue that has APA, the same glue right on our skin. This is liver damage. This is kidney damage. This is neurological disorders. And so much more. How many times have we sprayed that got to be glue to really stick that wig in so that people can think that's what we're thinking. So people can think it's coming straight from our head. I've given sorry, I'm getting a little tense here. I've given an example of watching white women wear afros every day, and then seeing them come to the Jamaican cuisine restaurants or African cuisine restaurants, and they are, look at me, selfies, videos, they're flaunting and all. And we Africans, you know, with our real natural hair, we're just looking at them like, right? That would definitely be us. How many times did we stand up and say, no, braids are for blacks. You're not supposed to have braids. We say that all the time. I think everybody should have braids. Braids are beautiful. And we have no space to tell a white woman who is putting on braids in her hair that is for blacks. Because if she dares to fight back and tell us, what? She can put weave in your hair to look like me. Why can't I do it? Oh, that would be a problem. There is a study that was done in NYU University, and it says that the black women who buy weaves, they are not buying it because they hate themselves. They're just buying it because it's a beauty thing. Now tell me how many people have died that you know, but you've never seen their real hair. Even in the casket, they had to die with weaves and wig. How is that going to be a beauty thing when you never even showed your own hair? We are evolving, we say, right? When we talk about evolving, we focus on the wrong thing. We think evolving is squeezing ourselves in the Western way. So basically, evolving is Tyra Banks making it to the runway. Evolving is, black actors made it to the Oscars. So we evolve when we see that, okay, we made it where there's usually a lot of whites, and now we made it. There's one person in, another person there. No, it starts with us. We made it when we believe that colonization has ended. So everything that came, including psychological beliefs, we have to wash it off. That's progress, because we are in our lane now. We can accept ourselves. We don't have to fight to be where we don't even need to be. But anyways, with all of this, there is a good shift that's going on, and we have all witnessed it. Black women are embracing their natural hair. They are transitioning. They are flaunting. Like, really, it's the most beautiful thing. It could be my algorithm on YouTube mostly, because I'm not really on Instagram just yet. But it's such a beautiful thing. And the black natural hair products is, I think it rose to 10 billion in 2024. So it's still rising, and we have an increase of black women embracing their natural hair. It increased to, I think, up to 23% more. The relaxer market is really, like, seeing a fall. The numbers of the natural hair progress has nothing to do with the numbers of the weave and the wig. For the weave, it's 10 billion in 2017, I believe 30 billion in 2024, something like that, and it's projecting to rise. And 70% of the spending is black women. So we still have a lot of work to do, and until we put down the bleach, Africans, until we put down the weaves and the relaxer, we should not say we are free from colonialism, or we are free, we can do our thing. Until we accept ourselves for who we truly are, we cannot move forward. We will always be psychologically behind. To my naturalistas, I am also seeing a connection with the natural hair gurus adopting African way of taking care of their hair, which is good. It's beautiful. But that's just the surface of connection. You cannot say, oh, I'm connecting to my roots by doing. It's like just going in and taking what can work for you, but then also it doesn't work that way. We need be among Africans, understand the vibration, connect. That's the beauty. That's the real connection. We have the type of hair that can do it all. It can get straight. It can be braided. Matter of fact, during slavery, they would braid the escape routes on women's heads. Okay? It can be coiled, bantu knot. It can be twisted. It can be on locks. It can be, on braids, Senegalese, Fulani braids, Senegalese braids, you name it, box braids. We can be, we can curl it, we can straighten it, we can have the volume, we can do the 70s, we can do the 80s, the 90s, we can do it all with our hair. Our hair is very, very diverse. We can literally touch every single um, texture if we want to. That's our power. You're talking about a crown? There's no better crown than that. A woman with 4C hair, a woman with 4C hair that has a small afro, that appears to have a small afro, straighten that woman's hair. That hair will get all the way to your shoulder. Now tell me that is not beautiful. Tell me that is not beautiful. Tell me that is not a smart way of being. You let people look at you and like, your hair, your hair. And one day you come, people are like, wait, what? That's your hair? And you go like this. What did you say? Just know that when you are embracing your own hair, you are embracing the connection your ancestors used to have with their ancestors and spirituality. You are putting back the shaved hair that which they shaved our grandmothers and even the men. You are reclaiming it back. When you embrace your natural hair, you are reconnecting with who you truly are. It's exhausting sometimes. It is. It's exhausting to be able to wake up, you're looking for your wig to put it on your head. Gotta go to work, wig, put it on your hair. It's exhausting. Internally, your soul is done, exhausted. In Chris Rock documentary, he says a black man is not allowed to touch a black woman's hair. And Chris Rock also mentioned about, running his finger in a black woman's hair, like it's something that he doesn't know what it feels like. He cannot even do that. Black women refuse to swim, refuse to have sex. They refuse to play and to sweat just to protect the hair. And you're telling me you're free? Few things you can do to reconnect and to study about the hair. First of all, like I said, the ancestry test is available for everyone. And to claim Africanism, you don't necessarily have to claim a specific country. Whether you know where you're from or whether you're not, embrace Africa. Just embrace it. I am so passionate about the pre-colonial Africa. So passionate. And also study the Crown Act. Try to see if your state has passed it and if it's signed. If not, try to do something about it. Okay? Try to find a community or try to follow women who are also in their journey. Okay? You can follow me if you want. But try to follow women, get inspired. See what they're doing and see their progress and get inspired. These kids are literally like, I need to wrap this up. This kid, he's literally sitting on the floor waiting for me to be done. Another thing you can do is read Emma Tarlow's Entanglement. It's called The Secret Lives of Hair. This book will literally make you see every single wig differently, or every single weave. So yeah, just surround yourself with knowledge and learn deeply about the African ways, the languages, the hair. You will find yourself in like a rabbit hole of nothing but raw, beautiful beauty. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I am transitioning. Super excited to see my curls yet again. I think this will be my third time breaking my natural hair. So before I close, I'm gonna ask you a question that can sit with you for a little bit, and you can hopefully start on your identity journey. I'm gonna ask you, if there was no slave ship, if there was no magazine telling you what hair is beautiful, if there was no employee kicking you out of work because of your hair, if there was no teachers or no schools telling you to go home because your hair was distracting, if there was no Hollywood, if there was no colonialism, there was no slavery, if there was none of that, how would your hair look like? That's a question to ask yourself, because if we are trying to bypass all of that, that's where we begin. So I hope always remember, our hair is more than what you think it is. It is the real crown. Before they could tell us our hair was wrong, it was the way we communicated with the divine. It was the way we were connected with our ancestors. It was sacred. It is, still is very sacred. We are the ones to reclaim it. We are the ones to stand up and reclaim it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you on my next episode. Until then, stay elegant, but always, always stay rooted. I'll see you later. Bye.
On you go. You are the carrier of light inside of you. The glow's green in the pitch black night on the Western Avenue. Oh, we glide down the hillside like a ship on the sea. And you are a beautiful and burning mystery. And you must know, you are so much more than you're showing. The world wants to know you. You are now, you've got to carry her. And I know that all of your children are to be blessed. And you know you're in control when you know how to manifest. But this new world is gonna need spirits like yours. So grow strong, I'm not afraid to face